are doing well. So the energies of this new moon, right? We have a lot of energies here that are dancing around, and something that I've been really feeling is that you don't feel alone. Okay, so that I'm just gonna pop up here. Okay, that you don't feel alone, that you know that you are always surrounded by your teams and guides of light, that you are always helped by them and comforted, supported. No matter if you're physically don't feel like anybody's around you or you feel like you're physically alone, you are not. You are not alone. But also for you to know that we are all moving through this space. We are all moving through this rhythm, this dance, this new moon energy in Libra, where Libra wants everything to be balanced and good, and that person's good and you're good, and everybody's good, everybody's happy. But Libra actually, with everything dancing in this other planetary melodies, singing along with Libra's dancing, with the moon dancing in Libra, it's actually more action oriented. There's a lot of action to be taken, and Libra wants to help you take that action, right? So today for us, it's a very cloudy day outside, and sometimes the cloud covering that solar radiance can feel a little bit, quiet or cocooned inside, or like a blanket's covering you. And when that happens, sometimes we rise up with the action in our voice, or we rise up in action of feelings and emotions, and it starts dancing within us and wanting to undulate up out. And so, hi everyone in the chat room. And so when you start feeling that rising up out, if you don't have other ways to express it, it will come out vocally, and vocally is great, but we want to be able to channel that into something helpful and positive, right? And so sometimes doing that, we need to get it out first, okay? And children are so great at showing us this. Like, they'll reflect right back to us the energy, the environment of what's going on with them and around them. And so sometimes when they get upset, they just let it out. And I think that that's a great thing to do. It's just let it out, not to someone, right? Not focus it on anybody, but just let that out. And I know that we've talked about this before, whether it's vocalizing it, singing it, or, stop. This came to me, one of the angels told me today, stop, drop, and roll. That used to be a term that when I was growing up, they were teaching us fire safety. And with Mars doing what it's doing, it was stop, drop, and roll if you caught on fire. And so the angels said to me today, stop, drop, and roll. And so when there was some high intense emotion going on, I said, okay, everybody, stop, drop, and roll. Everybody looked at me like, what? And so I did, just to see what would happen. And, we all started laughing, of course. Everybody started laughing. I laughed. So it shifted that energy, right? But what happens is the energy, the fire rising within, sometimes when our emotions get really overwhelming to us, it can feel like this slow burn coming up and out, or it can feel like a really intense burst of pow. Like I think of I think of Mars, right? When I feel that sense of pow burst, and that's happening, right? That's some of the emotion and the waves that we're going through, those powerful fiery flames, licking at the sides and within, wanting to come up and out. And so I always feel like vocalizing something would be great, whether it's stop, drop, and roll and actually doing it, or singing, playing some music that helps you first get it out and singing along with it as you move maybe, and then playing a song that's more positive or that shifts and alchemizes that energy, right? So allowing it to transmute the energy, alchemizing it, and then singing with that song or moving with that song. And taking deep breaths, of course, breathing through it all. But today, what else has come that I wanted to talk about are dreams. So there are so many different types of dreams that, people can have problem-solving dreams. They can have premonitions, past life dreams. They can have dreams where the more advanced, I would say, types of dreams come to people when they're ready to understand what those dreams are about. And that's when we meet each other in a sacred space and do healing work, do initiatory work, do, healing work can be shadow work, or it can be actually healing yourself or someone else, helping them heal in a dream. And these are more advanced ways of moving because we move into a different space of traveling and without going into a lot of complexities right now. So you might wonder and think about what is going on with your dreams right now, especially if you are having all of these I know a lot of people are having some shadows come up and they're facing a lot of fears right now. And that's excellent. That's to bring it up, to heal it, to work through it, to alchemize it or transmute it, right? And so our dream space is showing us this. And sometimes our dream space will show us, when I say space, I mean that sacred place that we go, that space where we travel to in dream time. And every culture calls it something different, but that astral realm of dream time. And sometimes we'll dream of another person being us. Like we will look very different. And it's not a past life dream, but it's so we can pull out, and I've had this question a lot lately, so we can pull out and watch it like a movie or watch it happening, like a story unfolding for us. And as we watch this story unfold, we're able to see it with a detachment, okay? And so you're watching two characters, two people doing something. And then in the dream, every once in a while, you may realize, I think that's me. I'm one of those characters, one of those people in this dream. And so you might go in that body and see it from that person's viewpoint. And then you may pull back out and you're looking at it as a viewer, watching them again. Okay, and so this can be a type of dream that helps you detach so you're able to see the lesson, bring up the fear, bring up the healing that needs to occur. Like I said, transmute or alchemize anything that is too challenging for your consciousness to go through in your awake time. So then when you awaken, you're like, that was interesting. I was kind of in and out of this one person. And so I've always taught, and you can find that at melissavirtue.com, my dream courses and micro courses there. But I've always taught that each person in your dream is a representation of you and of that person. And so even if they're a stranger and you don't know who they are, watch how they're behaving in the dream, because they're showing you, they're reflecting something about yourself to you, okay? So they're a stranger, one, this is an unknown part of yourself. Two, they're reflecting to you what you need to know, heal, work on, understand, receive, integrate, or transmute. And that's how I've always experienced it, and others too, when I've done all my, dream studies. And I haven't stopped. I continue to do dream studies because I think it's really important. And so right now, I know a lot of us are having these dreams where we are being initiated, or we're initiating others, or we're helping heal ourselves, heal others. We are also looking at ourselves in a different place where we're going in and out of those realms, out of those different bodies, if you will, the characters. Okay, so while at this time right now I'm not doing dream interpretation, there are a lot of people who are. And to me, you know, you're your best dream interpreter. You're your best dream guide. And so a dream guide helps you just uncover what is going on, and for you to say, yes, that feels right, or no, actually, it's a little bit more this way. And so when we have help uncovering our dreams, really you're the one that knows. The dream guide or dream interpreter just helps you begin to peel those layers away. Now, sometimes when we are peeling layers away, something else will arise that we didn't even know was there, okay? And this is what the magic of dreams do. And then we'll take that piece and we'll have a continuation of other dreams weeks on about it. And all the dreams are interconnected. They're all woven within the web of Dreamtime. And each of them create this and form this wonderful tapestry. So they're all interconnected. They're not really separated, so to speak. But yeah, if you have dream questions, you can write me, email me at awakening@melissavirtue.com, and I can definitely help you, guide you, you know, to the dream interpreters on my website, or, you know, answer your dream questions that you may have. But I know a lot of people have been coming lately and asking me, they're having these dreams that aren't past life, and they're not premonition, and they don't feel like that they're problem solving, because we have dreams that help us solve problems as well, you know. But it's sometimes what happens is we meet others in a dream space to exchange information. Okay, and so again, that would be a little bit more advanced form of dreaming. It doesn't mean that someone is more advanced than you are with dreaming. They just have been working with their dreams a little bit longer, and your dream guide and your highest self say, hey, this person's ready for this, you know, to bring forward this type of dreaming. So, with saying that, I'm going to pull some cards, they're telling me. In saying that, you know, with this new moon, it's a new path of dreaming right now. So your dream path will have taken a little bit of a turn, and it's showing you new things that you are intending, new things that need to be worked on, new things that need to arise for the highest good of all. Because when we heal ourselves, when we work on ourselves, it's for everybody's highest good, you know. And so that's what new moon brings in dream time, is new, looking at, revisiting, rebirthing, planting, just like a garden. What are you planting? What do you need to plant right now? What do you intend to plant? Well, here's what you're intending to plant, but also here's what we want you to see. And we means your teams of light, your highest self, your dream guide, okay? And while your dream guide, see, I've experienced, and over 20-something years, dream guides they come in with us, just like a guardian angel. And they're with us for the duration. That doesn't mean other guides can't come in and help with the dreams, can't come in and help guide the dreams as well, or give their energy, their input, their knowledge, wisdom, information. It just means that, you know, our dream guide is the one that is like a guardian angel for our dream space, is the one holding that space, the one who's kind of organizing everything and helping you, you know, feel supported and encompassed, like cocooned in light while you're moving through your dreams. So you're not going into these darker spaces and deeper places that aren't healthy or helpful. And also, your dream guide also brings forward what is needed and kind of organizes that, like I said, with the other beings of light. So, but I keep seeing this place, this open-hearted space, to keep singing through that with yourself. You know, keep singing through that space and that open-hearted place of love, of self-love. And, you know, sometimes I think it's great to have humor about ourselves. You know, it's great to laugh and be like, okay, that was great. I just, you know, I stopped, dropped, and rolled, and I was being silly, but, you know, or something that you did to laugh at. Laughter is very healing. It's very uplifting. It shifts the vibration and the energy. But sometimes when we get into laughing at ourselves, we can start also picking at ourselves, or making ourselves feel a little bit down. And then we start going to those places of, you know, this unworthiness. And then, because I've seen this happening lately, and then this whole picking apart of unworthiness and comparisons to other people, or comparisons to your younger self and your self now, or, you know, and the unworthy issue keeps arising. It keeps arising. And I'm looking for my paper of I did this channeling, and I'm like, okay, where's my paper? It's not here. So, okay, I wasn't supposed to read it today, but I will. I'll read it off. I'll do another YouTube and send that out this week, maybe tomorrow. But there's this really, it's about the heart and the chambers of our highest heart, 33. And our connection to our beloved, which is ourselves, and our connection to the divine, and remembering that when we appreciate ourselves, when we give ourselves the love, we are then exuding love. We are sending that love to the divine. We are loving the divine. We are loving our children. We are loving our partners. We are loving our friends, our family, when we love ourselves. And one of the ways to break that cycle of unworthiness, one very small, not insignificant, but small way, is to love yourself. Do something kind for yourself every day. And if that's just, if you can only do one thing, you know, placing your hand on your heart and just saying, I love you. You can then add, I rock it out loud, or whatever. But to just hold that space for yourself, you know, because you're holding that space for everyone. The divine, your children, like I said, your family, your friends. And I think we tend to forget that, you know, sometimes, because of everything else going on in the world, everything that's happening. There's just, you know, things have to, it's the phoenix, things have to catch on fire, or to transmute, right? Sometimes things just have to be burnt down in order to rebuild. And in the forests, and I was reminded of this by the lovely Ellen of the Ways. In the forest, she's that wild part of all of us, man, woman, however you identify. But they cut the undergrowth, and they trim it off, and they prune it, and then they burn it in the forest. And it's to help send the soil nutrients. It's to help send the soil the food that it needs for regrowth and rebirth. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing individually and as a unified group, unified heart. That's what we're doing in the world. And that's what you're seeing in the world, is trimming and pruning all this undergrowth, all this stuff that's underneath that has been, you know, rotting, or has fungus on it, or isn't helping or healthy anymore. So it needs to be trimmed away and burnt down. And in the burning, it transmutes it. And in the burning, you know, it's the south, the direction of the south, connected to the wise masculine, the sage, the Merlin, right? That part of yourself. Because everything you see is a part of you. And there's this wonderful children's book called that, All I See Is Me. And it's about teaching children that everything they see is a part of them. They're all from the divine, right? Everything. And so when we use this, the direction of the south, the fire to transmute, to transform, to rebuild. It's like that phoenix needing to perish in that fire and then be reborn from the fire. To forge, okay, because the fire also forges. And right now it's very important that we're forging ahead with our sacred relationships, which is us. Yourself with yourself being beloved. And then your relationships that are sacred to you that you see, the ones that you'll be moving forward with in this ascension process. And as Merlin, or the wise medicine man, the old wise king, the old wise shaman, the wizard, the whatever you want to call that old wise masculine that sits in the south, that's a part of you. And that part of you is helping you alchemize this, is helping you, for some of us, literally burn down things, and others of us figuratively, symbolically. Okay, it's helping the world. And so instead of holding in the things that we want to say or express, we release them out. But remember, as we do so, and we may need to practice, or you might need to practice, anybody, placing your hand on your heart. So it's reminding you to speak from your heart when you need to speak that fiery truth, or that allowing the fire to burn and transmute on its way up, whatever words you need to say or whatever expression needs to come out. And when you place your hand on your heart, then it allows it to engage with that as well. Sometimes physically, tactily, we need to do those things in order to have it come out from the heart center, the higher heart. And so there's no fear in having these things arise, because nothing's permanent. Things are ever changing, ever creating, ever dying off to be reborn, ever renewing. And so the shame and the guilt and the fear, the unworthiness, that's just your ego, your old hurts trying to hold you back. And so you want to look at them, you want to see them, you want to face them and say, wow, okay, let's dance. Let's dance in the fire, okay? So I'm going to pull some cards. But yeah, know that you are not alone. And there's things out there that are happening in the world. While we might not want to bury our head in the sand to completely ignore them, because sometimes seeing them and at least acknowledging them, it helps for us to know how to transmute, alchemize, send light to the world, send light and love and healing through our voices, through our heart center, through prayer, through movement, through whatever forms you do that with your skill set, with your gifts. You know, it helps us do that. It helps us know where to do that, where to send it. And sometimes you may not know, and you can just say, please send this where it needs to go. Okay? And it's okay if your truth isn't someone else's truth right now. I'm just listening to what they're saying. It's okay. But this is a beautiful time. We're moving into some really clear communication, some really clear times that we'll be able to open like this crystal ball is what I'm hearing. And this crystal ball, this quartz, like a quartz, it's just crystal clear, and the communication that comes down from the starry heavens above, the celestial realm above, will be very clear. You'll start hearing that very clearly from your star family, from the starry, those star beings. They are going to start speaking, and we'll be able to hear them. So anyone with passed over loved ones, so the first card I drew is this. But when I look at this card as well, and when it was created, it wasn't necessarily, I don't believe any card is face value, okay? because the person who draws the card or is receiving the card, it's so much deeper, and whatever you connect with it and how you connect with it, that's how I see it. But this, passed over loved ones. So if you have any passed over loved ones, I'm seeing fathers, actually. Passed over loved fathers coming forward. Grandparents, anybody, friends, family, people that were like family. They're there. They're there supporting you, comforting you. They're wanting to let you know, move forward, stand and embrace your light. Now is the time. No matter what hard things that feel challenging that we need to say, that we need to act upon, because this is an action time now. You know, I'm very familiar with the airy signs as well as the fiery signs. So air is very thinking, but it can be action oriented too. You know, Native Americans see arrows as not so much fire, even though they're triangles, but more air, because they through the air and space and time and direction, and they have a focal point. And so that's what I'm seeing right now, is a focal point for your action. But also I see this as people that are falling away from you right now, people that you may be releasing in your life. So they were past loved ones, like past in your past, okay? So instead of passing to the celestial realm or crossing to the celestial realm, this also represents anyone who's falling away. Know that it's good. Know that it's okay. It's for your best support. It's for the highest good of all. You can forgive that relationship. You can forgive yourself of anything that needs to be forgiven in regard to it. Because I know a lot of people are struggling with family members, friends, and it might feel very uncomfortable right now. And so it's okay if you are changing or they are changing, and you go your separate ways. The gift has been exchanged and given, okay? Yeah. Yes, I feel that fatherly, especially when I started talking about the South, the old wise, the wise one. I feel the father's coming forward right now. And I feel that it has to do with supporting the divine masculine is coming in to support that divine feminine. So it doesn't matter if you're male or female or how you identify, the divine masculine is coming forward and embracing the feminine to help the love and the heart-centeredness, the higher heart to open and expand more, for you to speak through it, for you to act through it, behave through it, to embody it, right? Live it. So the second card is red, and it is the old color of our root chakra. Not old, but it's the third dimensional color, I should say, of the root chakra. And what's interesting about red is it's associated with so many other things. You know, people think about passion, people think about life force energy, and that's how I'm beginning to see this color now. The red is life force energy, since our root chakra is now a different spinning and dancing and singing a different radiance, okay? And if you have questions about that, let me know. You can email me and I'll help you out with that. But I see it as life force energy. And what I'm hearing right now is, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling exhausted, please give yourself time to sleep. You do need the sleep. It's okay. It's okay. It's allowing your body to rest physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And there'll be a time, I'm sure, where sleep isn't as necessary. But right now, if your body's telling you that, if you need that, do it. You know, the Arcturians are saying it's important. It's important because it's a time of integration. It's a time of healing when we slow down, and slowing down so much that we sleep. That's a very slow way of being, right? Sleeping. And so when we can go into those deep depths of wavelengths and sleep, then we are able to restore, heal, rejuvenate ourselves on all levels. And then our light teams are able to come in and literally, and our highest self is part of our light team, come in and reconfigure our bodies, plural, our energetic bodies, our mental, emotional, physical, spiritual bodies, our astral bodies, okay? And able to come in and reweave, reconfigure, reattune, recalibrate, all right? Now, something that, and I'll draw a last card, and if you have questions, please ask them. I always love questions, so don't be shy. Or you can be, if you want. I don't want to tell you. But also when I hear this recalibration, you know, the earth, Pachamama, Lady Gaia, Mother Earth, she is going through that process, as we all know, that ascension process, and it's beautiful, but it's a shift. And sometimes, you know, a long time ago when I first heard about all of this or connected to all of it, it was Dolores Cannon. I had read one of her books, and this is quite a long time ago, early 2000. And she was explaining it as an orange peel over the core, or the hollow earth, and it's sliding around like this, and it begins to shift, and the light body begins to pull away and form a new dimensional earth. And so in layman's terms, I share that with you. And think of it as she's recalibrating, she's rebirthing, she's renewing. And so we're going to see that on many levels and in different ways physically around the world. And so sending light to her and being that bridge of light from the celestial realms to this beautiful Pachamama, Mother Earth, Lady Gaia. Okay. And you are the temple of light. You are the light bearer, right? Where the light's poured into, and you anchor it down into the earth. And this is said in many different ways and seen in many different ways. But again, if you sit with that and connect with Mother Earth and ask her, what do you need? What can I do for you today? Again, you're not only helping her, you're helping you, and helping you is helping her and all of her beings on, okay? You're a part of her. Last card. So there will be a resolution. There we go. So there's a lot of problem solving going on. And, you know, when I say that, okay, so I'm going to pull this card again. I don't know why I put it back in the deck, but let me pull it out again because there was something I want you to see. And so that's the healing, the dancing with the shadows, the movement, the, okay, problem solving. The best solutions are found within your heart. It's true. Your heart's your compass. I've said that for a long time. That's what they've told me for a long time. Your heart's your compass. And that's where you ask, what do I need to do? What solution do I need? How do I move forward in this? How do I communicate this? Right? What's the best answer? Okay. But also when we look at her, and I want to go back to that because I know there was a question, so I'll get to that question. She has all these pieces, right, in her hair, in her head, and I see that you're receiving that. You're receiving a piece at a time, maybe a couple of pieces at a time, connecting back into your energetic space of remembering who you are, pulling back those pieces of yourself, pulling them back to this area to remember and to drop down, to integrate you, to become whole, to know that you're whole. But you're pulling all these different pieces in, you're being given these different pieces. So allow yourself the grace to integrate them, okay? And that's what's happening with Mother Earth as well. Okay, so let's see. All right, so I remembered. I'm just reading this question. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, I just want to see that again. Okay. All right. So that's really beautiful, you know, having a dream of that, awakening with something in your mind over and over and over. When you do that, when you awaken with this word or image in your mind, and it's being repeated over and over, they want you to pay attention. Pay attention to this. We want to leave you with this. We want you to have this in your consciousness as you're awakening, because it's really important. This is what you're integrating. This is what you're pulling in. This is what you are needing to embody. So that's what I say to you, is connecting with her, with Gaia, embodying that energy from her. Plus she was pregnant. So yes, full of life, full of that energy rising and being impregnated with this light, this divinity, this healing, this nourishment that is being sent to her from everybody that is trying to anchor the light, or that is anchoring the light, that is sending her healing and love and all of the beings on this beautiful, beautiful body of hers. And so dreaming that, I think, is very profound, very, very profound for you to have that. And this is part of your work. If you've been dreaming of Gaia, she is calling to you. She is calling to you. And what you may have seen her, you know, if you saw that blonde curly hair, and think about how you feel about that. What does that say to you? How do you connect with blonde curly hair? What does it make you think of? You know, because some people might think of a fairy godmother, or a lighthearted, you know, cheery person, or, you know, it could really be anything that you connect with. But this is the energy she's giving you, especially on the grass. The grass tells us how nourishing the soil is, and the soil is, you know, what's healthy and makes things grow, right? And so how healthy are your actions, and how healthy, what are you bringing into Gaia? I bet she wants to definitely connect with you. But that's just the first little layer. I could go on about it. And now I'm going to let everyone go. I know it's been a little bit longer here, YouTube. So I leave you all with many blessings for the weekend, and the rest, you know, tomorrow and the weekend be really, really smooth and graceful for you, to embody your truth, to allow yourself to self-love. Okay, whatever form that looks like to you, whatever, you know, it could be in making yourself a beautiful dinner or breakfast, or taking a bath instead of a shower. It could be allowing yourself time to just sit down or lay down, or just stare off into space. And when you stare off into space, I call that awake dreaming, because you'll receive all kinds of downloads, images, information. So allow yourself to, you know, for some parents out there, allow yourself to brush your teeth. Because, you know, there are a lot of new parents in our neighborhood, and I'm like, I hope they're brushing their teeth. So, because sometimes we forget to give back to ourselves, and it can be very simplistic things to very, you know, monumentous needing to fill our cup. So many blessings to you, so much love, and I hope to see you Monday. If you haven't subscribed, please do, so you can keep up to date. But Monday Awakening with me on Monday, I will be here 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you will be too. So many blessings to you. Have a wonderful weekend.